Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. So Jeep did their announcement today of the new Gladiator, and doesn't look like any major enhancements, but Jim Morrison comes rolling in a Wrangler and hops out and starts talking about all the different things that they're doing with it. It seems like really they just made the Gladiator a lot more like the Wrangler. Same type of enhancements, the safety functions, and the bigger screen on the radio with the Uconnect. So overall, just made the Gladiator kind of match the Wrangler, but going to kind of walk through here with what ultimately happened with the with the announcement today. So it kind of starts out. Jim Morrison comes, obviously rolls in. He talks about Camp Jeep and how you can actually do Camp Jeep fully in quiet 4xe mode where you don't hear engine noises, stuff like that, going over some of the different terrain and stuff like that. So that'd be kind of cool to check out, I guess. But overall, just something for people to see at the Detroit Auto Show. And then he talks about how they did the updates for the Wrangler for 2024, and they actually just sold the 5 millionth one of those to somebody in Camden, New Jersey, who got some free upgrades and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool. We talked a little bit about how 2025, every Jeep will be electrified. So I'm guessing for 2025, that means that the Gladiator will have an electrification option. It doesn't seem to be that for 2024, it will get electrified. I only saw one engine option. So play a little video, and then in comes rolling a high velocity yellow Rubicon. Has obviously the new grille on it, that kind of stuff. So he talks about how, with this one, they did a lot of enhancements for tech, refinement, safety, and capability, stuff like that. He then gets into talking about the towing. So 7,700 pounds towing capacity and a 1725 payload, which looks to be the same as it had been, so no real enhancements there. Then, of course, they popped up another video talking about how it still will retain a folding windshield, 3 roof options, which would be soft top, hard top, and I guess combo of hard top with a Sunrider on it. And then, of course, 2 door options. So that is one cool thing. It looks like you will actually be able to get the half doors now on the Gladiator as an option instead of having to find them aftermarket from somebody else that bought a Wrangler and didn't want them or something like that. So at least that'll be an option. So that's one thing that's kind of cool. They then get into talking a little bit more about the new 12-inch radio with the Uconnect 5 and that kind of stuff. And then obviously the other thing that they started talking about a little bit as well is the adventure guides. With the adventure guides, you can follow some of the different things as far as the trails with the Trails Off-Road application. There's a couple hundred trails in the beginning for the standard version, but if you go with the upgraded version, it's close to 3,000 different trails. And that will actually have a follow me mode driving, so almost like a off-road navigation, if that's what it seems like that it's going to be. And then, of course, obviously CarPlay and Android Auto. And then he talks a little bit more about how the Sport S is going to have a standard adaptive cruise and forward collision, and that's going to be standard from the Sport S and above, so that's going to be another thing pretty much identical to the Wrangler. And obviously matching the Wrangler is the windshield integrated antenna, and then, of course, also the 12-way power seat, which is obviously new for the Gladiator, but something that was done on this year's Wrangler. Looks to be manual still, auto as well, 285 horse, 260 torque from the V6. So that unchanged, no other engine options, it looks like, for 2024. So I'm guessing we will see a 4xe as an option here in the near future, maybe 2025 because of what they said towards the beginning. But as of right now, no other engine options. The Far Out Edition looks to be the last of the diesels, so you'll still be able to order a few of those for a little bit, but once they're gone, they're gone. And then he gets in a little bit more about some of the standard Rubicon features and what comes on those. Then they come rolling in with the Mojave. He talks a little bit about the desert capabilities of the Mojave and that kind of stuff. Overall, not much of an enhancement from what it had been before. Still same 1-inch suspension lift, Fox shocks, stuff like that. The one thing that was kind of cool that they talked about, but they didn't really spend much time talking about, is they partnered with a company called AdX, and they built a overland camper that goes over the bed. Kind of looks like some of like the Go Fast campers and things like that are out there. So it looks like Jeep will be trying to sell some sort of overlanding options, at least for the Gladiator. And then they get into talking a little bit about how overlanding is best for the Gladiator, just because of the capabilities of what the Jeep will do with being able to do off-roading, and then obviously the storage capacity of having the bed in the back and that kind of stuff. So really push that ultimately. And then the Willys comes rolling in. They had an AEV upcountry package on it. The one thing that was kind of cool to see, at least that they did for it, is the Willys will now have a locking rear diff, kind of the same way they did that with the Wrangler. And then also with the AEV package, you can actually do 35s and a 2-inch suspension lift and some bumpers and things like that. So they had a couple different things that way. And then, of course, he finishes out by talking about some of the different enhancements that they have with the Camp Jeep Trail, where it's got like a crevasse and a different off-camber situation and things like that. So overall, that's the event in a couple minutes, but nothing major, nothing surprising. Mainly just making the Gladiator match a little bit more with the Wrangler, which is kind of what we thought would be happening with it, just because why would they still make a slightly different version or a different interior and things like that for a 2024 Gladiator when they've been doing it for the Wrangler? So they pretty much just made a lot of the components match right over from the Wrangler to the Gladiator as well. Hopefully we'll see something here 2025 with some updated engine options and things like that, but for now, it looks like we're kind of just sticking with a standard upgraded Gladiator that has pretty much Wrangler features. But otherwise, that's about it. So a little underwhelming. I kind of hoped for a little bit more, but it is what it is. Thanks for tuning in. Just a little bit more about what's going on with the channel then as well. We've got Jeeping for St. Jude here on the 23rd. So that should be kind of fun. We also booked a trip for Virginia Beach in November. They're actually doing a Jeep Fest down there, so I've never been to that, so I figured that'd be kind of cool. And hoping to do a trip up to Roush here in the next couple weeks, as long as I can find a weekend that fits. We've got some busy weekends here going on with concerts and things like that and other shows, so going to try to fit a off-road event in there so we can go and do some wheeling. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Trying to get the channel to grow, and need your support to do that. Looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys as the channel continues to grow. Hopefully, we'll see you at different events and things like that, and be able to meet each other and talk about Jeeps. Kind of one of those things that I enjoy doing at this point. So look forward to meeting you guys out there and seeing you around. Talk to you soon.